What's up and Happy New Year? Man, can you believe it's already a new year? God, it is true what they say. The older you get, the quicker it goes. It's true. I remember being younger and my dad saying that to me in his little French accent. And be like, oh, Ginny, the older you get, the faster it goes. That man is 88. He's still at it. Still doing it. So, around this time last year, I made some pretty substantial changes in my life, specifically in my health. And it really was, you know me, listening to me ramble all these years of how excessive compulsive I can be and how, I'm not going to change. If anything, I'm going to get worse, right? So I'm always looking to improve. So, having already been immersed in I think I'm the strictest person I know, and that's not necessarily a good thing because I need to lighten up. But around this time last year, through conversation, a really close friend of mine and client who mentioned to me about a particular cardiologist who had some books out, and he also mentioned that many top level athletes, including Tom Brady, had been following his protocols. So again, he referred me to some books. My brain is going too fast all the time, so I can't read books. I can read, but I don't have the capacity to sit and read because I'm always moving. So, obviously I took to YouTube and I sought out this particular person, and his name is Dr. Gundry, and he had some fascinating information. Now, admittingly, I don't, and still to this day, don't agree with probably I'm going to say 60% of what he has to say. I mean, I know that sounds like a lot, but the very thing that got him in the public eye was his research on a particular plant protein in vegetables called lectins. Now, working long hours and having been going at this hard for so long, you just get or adapt to the non-stop tired fatigue, the chronic fatigue. It's, you say to yourself, or you convince yourself that, I'm working a lot of hours, I'm putting a lot in here, that's why I feel like death. Plus, I'm always dieting or in a contest type diet protocol, even if it's the off season. So, but I was on this last couple of years, I was unusually fatigued, and I knew it had to be something that I was doing with the way I was eating. Well, coming to find out, Dr. Gundry enlightened me on the fact that a lot of the foods that I were eating that I thought were super clean, super strict, foods that I would eat in preparation for a show, were actually making me unhealthy or really running me down into the ground with fatigue, with brain fog, with messing up my sleep, and so on. My blood pressure, my blood glucose levels, everything. So I started really listening to what he had to say. And here's the thing. Like I said, I only really agree with less than half of what he has to say. But that little small amount, that 40% or so that I do agree with, made a huge difference in my life. I started really, really, really eliminating a lot of the toxic and harmful foods out of my diet and replacing. That's the thing you got to understand. If you're going to take something out, you have to replace. So I replaced it with a better, more efficient foods. It was really the avoidance of a lot of things, and I immediately started feeling 110% better. I can't even begin to tell you. I went from being so wiped out tired that I would have to sit down and put my head down on my desk sometimes between clients, to having so much goddamn energy I couldn't even sit for 14 hours. My head was ringing. I had so much clarity. So I started following that. Now, things got really, really amazingly interesting, because Dr. Gundry also would bring on many extreme experts in the field of neurology, in the field of gut and, digestion science. So I just learned more and more and more, and referred me to different people I would be following. And it just got me so interested in brain health, stomach health, hormonal management, everything. I just made a complete change around in the way I do things, in the way I work out, the way I eat, the supplements I'm taking at certain times. Like I can't, it was such a turnaround. So, I started like January 1st last year. At that point at startup, I was the heaviest I'd been in a while, but I did that on purpose. I do that every off season. But also, on an unhealth standpoint, my blood pressure was extremely high. My fasting morning glucose was elevated. Probably not dangerously elevated, but for me it was elevated. And then I started checking other things like my blood ketone levels at the end of the week, because it typically, if I have cheat meal on, say, a Sunday, it usually takes me till Thursday, Friday before I'm in pretty good ketosis. So I started checking that. And little by little, I started eliminating things and replacing things, and I've never felt better in my life. So, you may be as neurotically crazy as I am with your diet, and I'm not saying I'm the only one. I'm saying that as crazy strict as I thought I was for decades, I was actually consuming things that had adverse effects in my body. It was, I didn't let it interfere with my job productivity, of course. I continue to work as hard as I can and do the best I can with everybody. I didn't let it interfere with any other aspect of my life. My workouts never really suffered, because I know I could be on my deathbed and I will still work out as hard as I can. But it was having an effect on me negatively. So, I'm going on, this week is 1 whole year of not having one energy drink, no artificial sweeteners. I could go on and on. It's an unbelievable turnaround. So, that being said, you may think you're eating as strict as you possibly can, but I'm telling you right now, nutrition is medicine, and you should treat it as so. I gotta go. It's a new year ahead, a new decade ahead. Let's make the most of it. Let's make this year the best year you've ever had in your life. All right, let's do this.